Hello, everybody. Let's see. Yo, 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 yo. Ah, it's been a week. Usually I like to do these on like a Tuesday or something like that, but of course, we couldn't have that for reasons. But I don't know. It's been a week, and I just wanted things to cool down a bit. Um, got the game tomorrow against Jacksonville, another AFC South opponent. So hope everyone is doing well. Um, Minnesota Vikings are now 6-2 going to Jacksonville. The game against the Colts was absolutely terrible. Yep, the Vikings still came out victorious on top. So first half was very bad, no points, and we gave up a touchdown on offense, the strip sack fumble, controversy on that. So, yeah, Birmingham, let me now, Scott, let me down. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, I, yeah, it's just, you know, just a lot of not so great um, times. For me, I mean, while the Gophers lost today against Rutgers. That's a low. That is a low to lose to Rutgers. Like, come on. Um, but yeah, while they've been doing okay, Timberwolves are doing just fine. As of late, I should be saying so. In these last at least 3 games, have been getting some good blowouts. So yeah. Okay, that's good. Can't wait for the Axe game. That's like the one game I always ready for every year. So yeah, the Dak news not so great. I do have Dak Prescott in fantasy football. Probably gonna have to drop him, and I don't know. I'll have an open spot available. So deciding what I want to do with that. So, but I'm still first in my fantasy league. Woo woo. Of course, first place in the regular season does not matter until the play. You got to until the playoffs because you always can be one and done. So yeah. Vikings. There's some things I do want to talk about the game before moving on. Just like looking at a big picture thing, in terms of down the road, because there's not really much to talk about this game. Sam Darnold, he was perfect. He was pretty good for the most part, except for a couple of interceptions. The first one was right. I mean, he tried to force a Jefferson. That was bad. The other one, I don't even know. The other one in the second half was just after Joe Flacco, we threw an interception. He threw an interception. I don't know what Sam Darnold was doing on the second one. But the first one was especially bad. The second one, definitely a lot of pressure. So, and of course the strip sack fumble. We'll talk. I do want to get into the strip sack fumble in a moment because this is going to bring up a. I'm sorry. I'm going to get to that. But Aaron Jones, 21 carries, 64 yards. Justin Jefferson doing his thing. 7 catches, $137, 0 touchdowns. Josh Oliver. We try to use TJ Hawkins. I mean, we got TJ Hawkinson back, but we did sort of, in and out of just to see how he would do. So we used Josh Oliver more, 5 catch, 58 yards and a touchdown more. Hello, John. You ready for a good bye week, aka the Cowboys? I know, but it sucks about the Dak stuff, I will say. But you're gonna get another win. So Addison, he wanted the ball more. Obviously, his cryptic Instagram posts, even though yes, he's it's been his slogan. I do, obviously, obviously he wanted the ball more, especially after that Rams game. So yeah, yes, a dub will happen for the Eagles on Sunday. Hopefully a dub happens for the Vikings tomorrow. If we do not win tomorrow, just like the Colts, if I said we didn't win against the Colts, just pack it all up. If we lose against the Jaguars, pack it all up. Same thing for the following week. Lose again even if we win this week. Titans. We play the Titans afterward. You lose against Titans, pack it all up. We need to win at least these next 2 games. So can the Colts, can they lose 2 weeks in a row? Yeah, probably. It would probably work out. But we got the ball to Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Josh Oliver was the more present target. We stopped Jonathan Taylor only for 48 yards. That was great. Joe Flacco didn't allow any offensive touchdowns. Brian Flores' defense was back, getting the blitz on. We sacked Joe Flacco 3 times. Grenard with a couple sacks, one with Jahad Ward. So that was great. What wasn't great was the 4 sacks we gave up against the Colts. Buckner with 1, Grover Stewart with 2, and Kwity. Of course, Mr. Kwity Paye. There's a little lore to the Colt Kwity Paye. Didn't want Kwity Paye, and luckily he did not go to the Vikings. But Kwity Paye ended up, looking like, I think he's working out for Colts. But well, of course, it had to be Kwity Paye getting a sack against us. But Vikings, after were lucky enough that the Colts offense was inept. Joe Flacco, after the whole debacle with him getting the start for the rest of the season over Anthony Richardson. I don't know. But Harrison Smith also recovered a fumble. Jonathan Taylor, it just slipped out of him. But yeah, should have taken him, I guess. Who knows? Kwity Paye, that was what year? Kwity Paye. That was 2021 NFL Draft. Who did we take? I'm trying to think. 2021. That was the year we took. Nope. That was the year we got Christian Darrisaw. Oh, that's another thing I did want to mention in this video. Yes, Christian Darrisaw out for the season. Cam Robinson, who we picked up from who we traded from the Jaguars, he's going to play his old team this week. So even extra motivation. But yeah, and also Trevor Lawrence is not going to play, so we get to play Mac Jones tomorrow. So this is gonna. If there's any game where if you lose, pack it up. This is the one. We cannot lose to Mac Jones. If we lose to Mac, I'll go a step further. Not even just lose. If we even if it's close to the Jaguars, no, we should not. Just like this game, we should not allow an offensive touchdown. The Jags should not even sniff the end zone. If they do, it will be on defense or special teams. I'm sorry, an offense or it will be. They will only score a touchdown for their defense or special teams. So, but no touchdowns whatsoever. So, and talking about and at their leading receiver, by the way, Colts leading receiver was Josh Downs with 6 catches, 60 yards. Pierce 3 catches, 41 yards. Kicking. Will Reichard, IR. Long snapper, IR. Oh, Trevor, well, he's unlikely to play, but he is. I'm just saying he's most unlikely. But, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Mac Jones. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Mac Jones because it was leaning toward. Leaning toward no. But I think Trevor Lawrence is currently listed as even. I think it's questionable, but I'm pretty sure it's more than likely Mac starts. So yeah. So yo Daniel. But yeah, Will Reichard. You know, we brought in John Parker-Romo, who was in a kicking competition with Will Reichard, Will Reichard was who we drafted this year. Will Reichard, XFL kicker. Both pretty good competition, but we chose the Alabama kicker instead, the one we used our draft pick on instead of the XFL kicker that we signed in the offseason. So, I don't think John Parker-Romo had a chance either way because when you use a draft pick, you want to usually lean toward the draft pick kicker. So John Parker-Romo, at least 4 games kicking. So yeah, Will Reichard was not good. He did not miss a kick until the Colts game, and he missed both of his kicks, even a short one. He tried to play through some type of the quad injury. So yeah. Meanwhile, Matt Gay for the Colts, he also missed a kick, but he did make a long of 54. So, but one thing we're going to talk about is the sack fumble. Not because of the whole head contact thing, but because of what happened on that play. So, Garrett Bradbury gets blown up. There's the sack fumble, knocking it out, basically, some contact to that, some type of contact to head, and then but also the out by Sam Darnold, gets it out of Sam Darnold. I know. So what happened on the play that Garrett Bradbury, and I've talked about Garrett Bradbury on and off before, but that was actually not on Garrett Bradbury, because a lot of people were first blowing up Garrett Bradbury, getting blown up on that play because he just like got bulldozed. And what we find out the day after, or the day after, and people sharing the highlights, guess what happened? Garrett Bradbury didn't have his didn't have his footing. Why did Garrett Bradbury didn't have his footing? I wonder why. Can someone take a guess why Garrett Bradbury's footing was not correct? Why was Garrett Bradbury's footing not correct on that? Maybe it was someone next to him who got in his foot space. Let's see. I wonder who could that be. Throwing the pen. You guessed it. Ed Ingram. Garrett Bradbury was trying to get his stance in, and Ed Ingram, he was trying, and Garrett Bradbury was putting his right foot down, and he technically was the one. He stepped on Ed Ingram's foot, but Ed Ingram got in his space. He got in his space, basically. Even though it wasn't Ed Ingram stepping on Garrett Bradbury's foot, he got in Garrett Bradbury's, space, basically, and not giving him room to place his foot. And that's why Garrett Bradbury got blown up. fell down right away and caused a strip sack fumble touchdown, which was the only Colts touchdown of the day. And we could have allowed 0 touchdowns. But because of Ed freaking Ingram, he does that. How does he continue to start on the line? How? You have Dalton Reisner back. He's off IR. He's off IR. He returned his practice window. He's off IR. He's off the practice window. He's signed to he's now signed to the active roster. Why aren't you making that move? Why isn't Kevin O'Connell? Why isn't the offensive line coach making that move? I don't understand. If this keeps going on, yes, Garrett Bradbury, like I keep saying, definitely has his days. But having Ed Ingram in there doesn't. Ed Ingram doesn't know, because Ed Ingram is making Garrett Bradbury worse. If you have a competent right guard, there wouldn't be as much pressure on Garrett Bradbury, because defenses are just going to exploit that hole between the center and the right guard, and that's just an easy way. This is not me just defense coaches probably already know this is nothing new. All you gotta do is stack it against Garrett Bradbury and Ingram next to each other, and you got a clear hole to Sam Darnold. This is why, if the Vikings are serious about trying to make some type of run, maybe get to divisional game or whatever, or even like pie in the sky championship game, they got to make the move with Ed Ingram. I don't know if there's any other center option. I mean, we can't, any other center options, but you have Dalton Reisner right there. You re-signed him in the offseason. He played the latter part of last season. When we traded away, Jaguars. We're talking about the Jaguars. What is this? Ezra Cleveland. Ezra Cleveland, who was the left guard. Dalton Reisner filled in for him. Okay. We re-signed. And then we got Blake Brandel moving to left guard. Blake Brandel playing great. Darius Hall was playing great. Of course, he went down, but Cam Robinson, so far, he's playing pretty good. And we got Brian O'Neill playing, of course, veteran, playing great. Center and right guard. If one of those, if just changing even Ed Ingram to Dalton Reisner would make the hugest difference in the world. It would, because not only do you improve that position, you improve Garrett Bradbury, but continuity, yeah, bullshit. Sorry, but they just don't. You can't make people. You got to do what's right for the team. You can't keep making people happy. So, sorry for my tangent there. I feel like I every single recap stream, I keep bringing up Ed Ingram. That's because he keeps doing dumb stuff. He keeps doing stuff like this. I don't. I just, there's always something new, whether him stepping on someone's foot or him getting in the way of someone planting their foot, or swatting the ball away from a quarterback's hand, or just getting blown up in general. It just needs to be the move needs to be done. It just needs to be done. And now, of course, we're playing the Jaguars and the Titans, and I mean, the Titans actually have a pretty good run defense. They're number one, I think, number one in run defense. But you're playing the Jaguars next. Oh, and let's just say, hey, Ed Ingram has an okay game. And people will say, "Oh, look at that! Ed Ingram had a good game. Had his best game ever." Yeah, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I mean, I just, whatever. Moving on. Kevin O'Connell, needs to, I mean, obviously, besides making that change, needs to implement TJ Hawkinson. Hopefully implements TJ Hawkinson more. I'm not just saying that because I'm starting TJ Hawkinson this week, but hopefully we can get him more implemented in the offense, so we can, score some more points, especially we've been this season we've been a first half offense team, but Colts game was just a whole flip flop of that. But usually we don't start good in the first half against the Colts anyway, so we're more of a second half team when it comes to the Colts. So we got an easy part of the schedule coming up. We got a pretty favorable schedule coming up. I want to show you. Okay. So we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have the Tennessee Titans. That's not the background I want. There we go. Sorry, I need to zoom this in, don't I? Okay, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, and the Chicago Bears. Now, at least you need to win the next two, for sure. There should be no doubt. You should be 8-2 after November 17th. But at the end of November, I think you also should be 9-2. The Bears, I know it's a divisional game, and it's in Soldier Field, but you should beat the Bears. I'm just saying this. Yes, we could possibly split against the Bears. I understand we could possibly split against the Bears, but what the Bears have shown me has not impressed me. Has just not impressed me. So honestly, looking at it, you need to sweep the. I think you should sweep. The Vikings should sweep the Bears. In all honesty, the tough games are going to be. There's a handful of games where I consider very tough. These two and these two. The Cardinals game can get a little chippy. I won't lie. You never know what Cardinals you're gonna get. So I would say you should be slightly more favored just because they're at home. You got the crowd behind you. The Falcon game is gonna be pretty. It's gonna be tough. You got Kirko Chains coming back in the building. But you should also I should take take banner off. You should be more favored in that. Green Bay and Detroit are the ones on this. It is what it is. We always split against Green Bay, so we might lose that one. Detroit most likely could get gonna get swept. So honestly, looking at this, the rest of the schedule, I think the Vikings, the expectation. I know the expectation you should be going in at. Let's say we lose probably lose the two, and if you lose the Chicago game, it is what it is. You would the Vikings would finish up with a what would it be, like a 12-5 record. Not bad to be honest. But if you sweep Chicago, you move to 13-4. I still don't think that's enough to win division. The lines exist, you know. Green Bay, I mean, we'll see with them, but Detroit, they got some tough games, but I don't know if the Vikings can beat Detroit, especially in Detroit. So, Green Bay, I mean, their schedule, we look at their schedule right now. They got to play the 49ers. We'll see how good they're going to be. And the Lions, we'll see. Maybe this is hard for me to say because being a Viking fan, but we got to hope that Green Bay beats Detroit because it seems like almost there's no stopping Detroit, but maybe there's a chance Green Bay can beat Detroit. I don't like saying it, cheering for the Packer, but the Lions, they got the Texans, but Texans look a little shaky right now. Jaguars, Colts, Bears, like I said, like the Bills, the 49ers, I feel like there's some more harder games on here for the Lions. The Texans, it'd be great if the Texans could win. And that would help out a lot. And then the Bills and the 49ers, that would be great as well. That would help the Vikings situation. So, like, the toughest game for the Vikings, obviously, is going to be that Detroit game. Green Bay, we do not take them lightly. We know that there's a good chance. I got the Lions 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, it's great. Great. Lions, going to be a tough one. Lions are looking like the best team in the NFL right now. I'm happy at least for the Vikings side of things. Like, hey, we play closer against the Lions than in our house than Green Bay did against the Lions in their house. So, we almost pulled off a victory here. I know that, if we can just do some things right, and make some changes, we can at least be competitive with Detroit. Now, winning against Detroit, of course, in Detroit is going to be difficult. And, but the fact that we're saying competitive shows me at least we got some fight in us. We do have some fight in us. But just seeing these next couple weeks against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Titans, if we do not destroy them, the Colts game, it was closer than what we wanted, but Jacksonville, Tennessee need to destroy them. If they destroy them, okay, I know this team can do it. Of course, the goal, looking at the rest of the NFC, you got some tough teams. You got the Commanders. They're on a cinder. They're doing very well. But we can maybe go toe to toe with them. Detroit is just the one team. Like, I'm looking in the NFC, like, I don't know if we can get past that. I just don't know. Like looking at the standings, Commanders, Eagles. Eagles, of course, Eagles are a weird team. Eagles are a very weird team. NFC West, I'm not too worried about. Maybe the 49ers just because of playoff experience. Falcons, but like NFC North, this is like the division. Who's going to go to the Super Bowls? The best teams in the NFC are all from NFC North, in my opinion. Lions, Vikings, Packers. To be honest, the other teams, but like you can throw in the Commanders as well, but I think the NFC North is just like they're just so good. So minus the Bears, but but for a fourth place team, they're the best fourth place team. So but Vikings defensive wise, of course there's not really much you can do now, as we're hoping to get a defensive tackle or whatnot, but we got to create pressure. cornerbacks, safety wise, you just can't allow yourself to get burned. So, Brian Flores is gonna live by the blitz, die by the blitz, and you know what? It is what it is. And we're gonna see what the kicking situation is gonna like these next 4 weeks. A lot of outdoor games for John Parker Romo, against the Jaguars, Titans, Bears, and then the Cardinals game, and then hopefully Will Riker will be back against the Falcons. So, that's all I really gotta gotta say. Make the changes at offensive line, and implement TJ Hawkinson for the offense. Defensive wise, create pressure. If you create pressure, that helps out everything else. Getting Blake Cashman back, that's going to help out a lot, because he helped us on defense throughout those first 5 weeks. If we can get Cashman back healthy, it's going to make a whirlwind of a difference. So hopefully that can happen. So tomorrow, Vikings will be playing at noon Central Standard Time against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully, we'll be watching Mac Jones in a beatdown, and hope for a good old blowout. If not, you're going to be in for a Viking fan who is going to be questioning everything in life, because which sort of sums up this week. Which sort of sums up this week for me. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but you know what? It is what it is. So yeah. So Vikings, of course, as I said, win 21-13 versus the Colts. Game stream tomorrow. Yeah. So thank you all for watching. I hope all of you have a good rest of your night, and we'll get a good we needed football back, and I'm happy to hopefully bring you some distraction from this week. So thank you all for watching. This has been Adam, also known as Minnesota Vikings Man 28, and as always, Skull, and I'll see you all tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time. Peace.